Hello everyone, allow me to introduce myself to you. My name is Elvan Maulana. I'm from Management Department of Putra Batum University. Today, I'd like to discuss about the business I run, namely dropshipper. The reason I chose the dropshipping business is because of its low capital and it is not difficult to do because there is no need to sell goods. And my talk will be divided into 6 parts. The first is the definition of dropshipper. Second, we will discuss the difference between a dropshipper and a reseller. Third, I will discuss the SWOT analysis of the dropshipper. Fourth, I will explain tips for selling dropship product to become a bestseller on the market. Fifth, I will explain the advantages of a dropshipper. And finally, I will explain the disadvantages of a dropshipper. Continue to the first discussion, which is the definition of a dropshipper. Dropshipping is a type of business where the products sold are not stocked, but are purchased directly from third parties, both manufacturers and large distributors, and delivered directly to consumers. A dropshipper is someone who sells product owned by other parties without having to stock up and send orders because the shipping process is carried out by third parties, namely large producers or suppliers. In short, the dropshipper's job is as an intermediary and person in charge. The task of the dropshipper is to market the supplier's product in the most unique and interesting way. When there are orders and purchases, a dropshipper will forward the order to the supplier for processing and sending to the consumer. Dropshippers sell goods at their own set prices. So, the dropshipper's profit comes from the difference between the money received from the buyer and the amount of money paid to the supplier. On the next slide, I will discuss the difference between a dropshipper and a reseller. The first difference is resellers need stock of goods and storage space, while dropshippers do not. Next, the capital required to become a reseller is greater than being a dropshipper. Then, resellers are more complicated because sellers have to manage each stage of the sales process themselves, while dropshippers are easier because sellers don't need to take care of shipping goods. Next, I will discuss about SWOT analysis from dropshipper. There are 4 elements in SWOT, that is strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. The strength of the dropshipper is small business capital, not complicated, low risk, and many marketplaces available. Then the weakness of the dropshipper is that it must be monitored at all times, because every time people will come to ask about the product we have. If our response is low, then people will no longer come to shop at our store. Then, opportunity of the dropshipper is many products that can be sold by looking at existing trends. Many offer to become resellers and do not require capital and space in them. Lastly, the threats from dropshipper are intense competition, price wars, problematic suppliers, and changes in competitor strategies can threaten market positions. On the next slide, we will discuss tips for selling dropship products to sell well in the market. The first is determine the target market, make the right marketing strategy, actively doing business online, choose a quality supplier and respond quickly, make attractive offers, take advantage of social media to promote your business, and the last, ensure your consumer shopping satisfaction. Okay, next I will discuss about the advantages of dropshipper. The first is easy to run, then relatively low operating costs, thereby reducing risk. Then the product sold very so you don't depend on just one product. Then no need to have item storage. Then location is flexible because it can be done anywhere. And the last, don't bother with packaging and shipping goods because it will be done by the supplier. In the last chapter, I will discuss about the disadvantages of dropshippers. First, the profit margin is relatively low because in order to be competitive, we set a lower price. Then, the good name is affected by the supplier because suppliers often experience errors in sending goods, so that our store rating becomes bad. And the last, availability and delivery of goods depends on the supplier, so we must always check this with the supplier. That's all I have to say. Before closing this presentation, let me give a conclusion. That is, this business is very suitable to be run by a student because of low capital and can be done anywhere. And finally, I want to end this presentation with a motivational quote from Maya Angelou. That is, success is liking yourself, liking what you do, and liking the way you do it. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope what I have shared will be beneficial for all of us.